So another thing you should do is incorporate discipline. Self-discipline is the key to success. It's a keychain that I had um, from high school, and discipline I learned, from my parents. I also learned from the game of basketball, but discipline is very important as well. Discipline is very important as well. Discipline beats out motivation. That's something I saw one time. Motivation can run out, but discipline, when you're disciplined, it is built into your system. So discipline is an important factor when it comes to finding a solution to your issue. Um, you know, for me, I'm focusing on my debt. So trying to be disciplined in the budget and work with my wife. Because we're a unit, we are one, and I can't just be overbearing about everything. I have to um, incorporate the budget, incorporate what we're gonna do, where our money goes, with my wife. And we're trying to be disciplined in that area, but also trying to be disciplined in all areas of my life. Disciplined in my schoolwork, as I work toward my master's in divinity. Being disciplined in studying the Word, because God has called me to preach the gospel, and it's not something that I'm supposed to take lightly. So I want to be disciplined in studying the Word. I want to um, be able to fulfill the call that God has placed on my life. Um, Also, vision and goals are very important. I've wrote a vision. I've wrote some goals, and me and my wife sat down and talked about them. As far for debt freedom. My vision, for me and my family, my wife, has to first seek God, live in obedience to God, believe Him for financial freedom, for wealth, to walk by faith and not by sight, and remember faith without works is dead. Have an ultimate goal to be debt free by 2021. And I know me alone can't be done, but with God, all things are possible. So I'm believing God for it. That's the ultimate goal. Um, we have some other goals as well. Some that God did already, um, which applying for the chaplain candidate program for the United States Air Force Reserves. God did that. He opened the doors. I am accepted into the program. Just going through the process of processing out of the Navy and into the Air Force. God did that one. Um, we wanted a rental property. We have a rental property, as I discussed last video. Um, it wasn't easy. um, it was it was a road. It was a long road, and we learned a lot. We learned an extreme lot through that process. And I'd like to take y'all step by step through that process in another video. Um, Reading and listening, solution. That's the solution to the problem. When you sit back and listen to others that's experienced the things that you've experienced, is very important. When I sit back and listen to a plethora of things, man, when I sit back and listen to my mother, to my father, to my mother-in-law, to my pastor, um, about different topics, um, light bulbs go off. And a lot of times I like to take notes with pen and paper. Um, because I am one that likes to look back and reflect a little bit on the things that I've learned, uh, and be able to turn back to them. If the Lord, Holy Spirit reminds me, hey, something clicks, and I'm able to turn back to something that I've heard from one of uh, one of my family or friends. Um, it's important to read. educate yourself. I've always been big on education. I think it's very important. Education. Um, I'm not too crazy about student loans, but education. I think educating yourself, reading, um, listening, um, knowing what's going on is important. Um, you know, for finding a solution to your problem, and for the focusing part. If you're gonna focus, you have to pay attention. You have to be alert. Um, Another thing is solution to the problem, solution to the debt freedom, to debt problem, to becoming debt free is making more money. Um, Side hustles, doing things to earn extra income. I talked about the wealthy have multiple streams of income. Um, and some people, like to pick up extra jobs that, like jobs that some people wouldn't want, delivering pizzas. Another job, VIP Kids, helping teach English, to Chinese students. Um, that's something that's new. That's something that's different. That's something I encourage you to do. Um, that's something that I'm doing, but just to name a few. But some other things people do is what you call it, mystery shopping. That's something people do. Um, that's something I'm looking into. Um, but like I said, don't focus on the problem. Focus on the solution to your problem. You see this, you know, chart up here. It's kind of hard to see, but this is a chart that me and my wife made in a marriage retreat. It's got to start, it's got to finish, and it's a roadmap. It's got pictures. Um, it has pretty much our life story on there. Um, Things we like to accomplish, things we accomplished. Um, you know, and if you think about it, life is a journey, and thanks be to God, a lot of those things on there has happened. It was our desire, and God saw fit to bless us with a lot of it. Children. Um, we have two beautiful girls, one baby on the way. A rental property, God blessed us with that. For me to be an officer in the military, God blessed us with that. Didn't know it was going to be chaplain. Didn't know I was going to be a minister. I just knew that I loved the Lord. Um, and as I started working, um, and maturing in the faith, God just called me, and I answered. Um, and My wife been working in this church, and God has really blessed me and my family. So I just encourage you to try Jesus, to get in the church, um, and to read the Word and know the Word for yourself. Because you can't always live on the prayers of your mother and your father or your grandmothers. You have to be able to pray for yourself, um, because when you're able to do it for yourself, um, then God's able to use you because you're in tune with the Lord. You're in connection with God now. Um, you have a relationship now. Um, you know, so I just encourage you um, to not focus on your problem, but focus on the solution to your problem. Reflect, focus, reflect, focus, and prepare. Remember, stay encouraged. Stay encouraged. Put your flesh into submission. Move forward. Don't move backwards. You can do it. God bless.